probably have family members that are as well, but we take football seriously in Alabama. I mean, very seriously. In fact, we're going to watch a game on this TV after we're done. So, we've got, I've got to show you. I've got to show you what Tumors looks like after we win an Iron Bowl, Miss Janice, or a national championship. This is what you're going to see. This is not a winter storm like it looks like. This is literally toilet paper. Okay? Yeah, it's unreal, isn't it? So you pretty much roll everything you see. So that's Tumors. It's a very, very important place and a historic place for Auburn fans. And so that's Tumors. Now, what I'd like to do is move towards their Twitter. Now, you're not going to be able to read these. It's kind of small. It's just screen caps. But these are some of the things that they're tweeting. All right? This is right after the tornadoes happened. Volunteers needed at 8 a.m. tomorrow at the Walgreens delivering a truckload of water. Immediate needs: salt, pepper, laundry detergent, baby wipes. We need gasoline and ice. Someone is talking to Erin Andrews, trying to get her involved. See, this is where they're telling Blake Shelton that they've got a jet. They're going to come swing by and just snag him up real quick. All right, you've got people here who actually have SUVs, and they're just going from the central part of the state to the northern part of the state, or maybe they're going to Tennessee. But through this, they're able to actually organize people who are just going in that direction to just pack up just the back of an SUV. It's pretty simple. You're not sending a huge truck every time. Hey, I'm going to Tennessee. Maybe I can pick some things up and take them through to Tuscaloosa. So they were able to do a fantastic job in organizing and beginning to help the people that were in need in these areas. Now, another group, actually this is their area here where they're taking in donations, whether it be cereal or garbage bags or water. And then down here you can see people who are actually sorting through the stuff. And this is about as nice as you'll ever see Alabama fans and Auburn fans and vice versa. It's a really beautiful thing to see. Another thing that's really cool is a Facebook group called Pictures and Documents found after the April 27th, 2011 tornadoes. What they're doing is they're taking the debris that's actually fallen 75 to 100 miles away. This tornado is taking the debris 75 to 100 miles away from where they picked it up. It was leveling houses and literally carrying it that far. It was dropping it in people's front yards. It was dropping the debris in the streets. It was dropping debris pretty much everywhere. So what they were doing is they were collecting these things, and of course within this debris you've got photos, you've got documents, and you've got maybe a letter from your husband from 50 years ago. And what they're doing is they're investigating these things, and they're trying to get them back to the rightful owner. Now, let me show you some things. These are some examples of what you'll see. All right? We've got a picture of a man and a woman going 75 to 100 miles away. You've got letters to someone's mother, a photo of a little girl in elementary school in the 60s. You see a military man with a tattered photo. You actually see the post office meter stamp on. Checks. Another picture of a cute little boy sitting on a car. Somebody's grandchildren. More letters. And the reason I didn't just take a cap of the photo here, down here what they're doing on Facebook is they're investigating this photo. And they're looking at this flag. And they understand that somehow they can get this to a museum, and the museum may be able to look at this flag and find out what company this is. And then they can narrow it down to what man is in the photo, or what men are in the photo, and get it back to the rightful owner. So it's pretty incredible, the investigative work that over 100,000 people were doing together to get these back to the rightful owners. Here's one of my favorites. This is Demo, as you can see at the top. Duchess, and Duchess actually looks a lot like my pup. but you can see at the top it says, she's our not so smart dog. You want that picture back, right? All right, so they're doing really amazing things. They're doing big things. Things that, would you really think that you could do with social networking? Taking a small resource, and they're doing really, really big things with it. Now, having said that, how easy does it make it for me to walk into my client's restaurant and say, sure, I can sell you a cheeseburger. It's no problem. Or I can go to a boutique and say, yes, I can help you sell some necklaces. It's the small stuff. But what about if you're an organization and the legislation is in, and you know that there's a bill that's going to go through, and maybe it's not the bill that you want to go through because it's not what you support. It's not going to be good for the people that you represent, and you need to get the people that you represent involved. They're not just a part of an organization anymore. You're getting them involved. Maybe you're live tweeting what's happening. You can take photos with your BlackBerry and put them up there. They don't have to know how to use Twitter. You can have it on the website, integrated right into your website, so that they can get involved. And then they're going to call their representative, and they're going to help you make the change that you want to make. And you need to start firing people, and you need to start it quick. Social networking is a fantastic way to do that. Now, a lot of people think that social networking is a phase. And a lot of people don't want to jump into it because they do think that it's going to just turn into the next great thing. And chances are, that's correct. It may change into the next great thing. But I will tell you one thing that I know for certain. It's my job to know this. Social networking is going nowhere. It's not going anywhere anytime soon because it's changed the way that we do things in this world. Now, I'm not just going to throw that statement out there because that's kind of a big statement. I'm going to back it up, and I'm going to call social networking a technological revolution. I'm going to start here. A long time ago, someone came up with a print press, started printing newspapers and books, getting information out there to the masses. Now you can see what's going on across the country or across the world, and you can read about it. Print press was a technological revolution. We're still using it today, and it's evolving. It's not going anywhere. You have photography. You can put a photo in a newspaper. It's fantastic. Not only do you read about what's going on, now you can see it with your very own eyes. Cameras are still evolving. They're getting better. It's a technological revolution. It is not going anywhere. You got a telephone. Reach out and touch someone. You can pick up a device, hold it to your ear, and speak to someone across the country, when before, maybe you wrote a letter. Now you can just pick up a phone and call. Technological revolution. It's probably in your pocket right now. It's probably in your purse right now. It's evolving, it's changing, and it's getting better. It's not going anywhere. We have a radio, magically beaming information through the airwaves. I remember my granddad used to sit with me and talk about how he'd listen to the president speak, or he'd listen to the news, or he'd listen to his favorite show on Friday night, sitting in front of a big tall radio, which I actually still have today. Radio's changing. Now they're beaming different genres of music, talk shows from satellites, into your car, whatever you want, commercial free. Radio's changing. It's not going anywhere. Radio was a technological revolution. Now the next one, I can assure you that the sofa and the potato chip industry are quite fond of. This technological revolution, as you probably guessed, is the television. Okay? Now the TV changed things even more. And they're still evolving. You're seeing a presentation on a TV. We're still using them. They're not going anywhere. It's a technological revolution. What makes social networking, paired with the internet, a social or a technical revolution? I'll tell you. You can take all of this, you can put it on a device. One device. It organizes all of these things into one nice little package. Okay? So no longer do you just need the newspaper. No longer do you just need photography. No longer do you just need the telephone. No longer do you just need a radio. And no longer do you just need a video. Because you can do all of those things through social networking. You can upload videos onto Facebook. You can listen to a speech from a link on Twitter. Photography. Upload your photos from an event. All of those things right here in the palm of your hand or on a desktop or an iPad. Okay, so if it's not going anywhere, it's not a phase, and if you truly believe that it's a technological revolution, what more is there? Wouldn't you want to use that to help benefit your organization and to get people more involved? Social networking is doing huge things in the world around you. I'm sure you've noticed, if you watch the news, you see revolutions happening all around the world, in the Middle East. Have you ever wondered how those start? Right now they're starting because the governments can't hide the information from the people anymore. They're uploading videos to YouTube of dictators who have been mistreating their people for years. They're using Twitter to make sure that they know exactly where to meet for protests. Unbelievable. They're using Flickr to upload photos. And the people are unable to hide this information from people. What if you're the Red Cross and you need to get the donation information out? If there's a text number that people can text and say, I want to give $5. And you tweet it. And then another person retweets it. And another person retweets it. It gets retweeted and retweeted. Before you know it, there's a bunch of people giving $5 to the Red Cross to help with an earthquake or a tsunami in Japan or an earthquake in Haiti. It's unbelievable. You can do huge things. It's as big as you want it to be. So now that we've gone over some kind of heavy things here, what I'd like to do is I'd like to show you one business from my city that is doing a super fantastic job. And it's a husband and wife team called Little Acorn Photography. And she's an absolutely genius photographer, and he's actually a graphic designer by trade. And so he builds great websites. He does a fantastic job on Facebook and Twitter. All right, and here's his homepage. You see the website, the blog, the Twitter, and Facebook. Now, we don't do any work for them whatsoever. This guy does everything on his own, and they're about as good as it gets. This is their homepage, and these photos will actually scroll across the screen, and you can see more information about who they are, their galleries. But this is where it really happens. This is how they built such a fantastic business so very quickly, is with Facebook. I'd like to take you through and scroll, and we'll look at some of their posts, and you can get an idea of how you can use it. It's not if you're using it, it's how you're using it. Let's look here. We have a blog, and it goes to Will really loves his books. It's a photo session they did. So you can actually see the work that they're doing. You can put your work out there for people to see so they understand who you are and what you're about. Scroll down a little more. If you ever wanted to know, do they do a great job with wedding albums? It's on Vimeo, which is similar to YouTube, and they have it linked right out, all through their Facebook. And you see a lot of people are, I'm sure some of you are accustomed to the liking of pages and comments and things like that.
Question, Joey, over there.
Can I just ask a quick question?
Sure.
Okay, so the photography, I'm just kind of curious because Facebook came out a while ago that said they owned everything that was on their websites. So why would a photographer put up their photos on a Facebook page so Facebook could own it?
It's actually,
I'm just curious about
no,
that.
it's really, it's not like Facebook can take those photos and publish those photos. When they say they own it, that just means that they have the right to upload those onto your Facebook page. It has to work that way legally.
Okay,
Really.
that's how it's been.
So they're not going to be able to take your photos and actually, go print them and sell them. It doesn't work that way. If you look here, you're going to see where someone clicked on the comments And you can see where they say excited to see this. The pictures are amazing, so much fun.